Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia Maya. Today I wanted to talk about erectile dysfunction.
I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but lately I've been having a little trouble performing.
You mean erectile dysfunction?
Has it ever happened to you?
Sure has. It happened to me a lot.
As well as some treatments for erectile dysfunction. So stay tuned for an interesting video. So something psychological about erectile dysfunction. A lot of the time, if a man expects that they're going to fail, like if they don't think they're gonna be able to get hard and they're just anxious about it, a lot of the time, that is what's gonna make them fail. It's the men that are confident, that kind of know that they're going to do a good job. Those are the men that actually do a good job. So a lot of it's really in your head, which is pretty interesting. Something I learned from the Sex for Dummies book by Dr. Ruth. I talked about in a couple videos ago, I talked about how I got her Sex for Dummies 4th edition, really good book. I'm learning so much. So something she talked about was how missionary is a very popular position, but the problem that a lot of men have with missionary is that when they hold themselves up with their muscles, it kind of like tenses their muscles, and that brings the focus away from the pleasure. So a lot of the time, men don't perform as well from missionary if they're concerned with holding themselves up. So I wanted to add that in there as well. So the amount of testosterone that a man has, that determines his sex drive. And this is important to note because a lot of the time, if a man is struggling with depression, he might actually have lower testosterone, therefore lower sex drive. And we all know that that could definitely cause some issues, especially if he's in a relationship or he's trying to bond with other people and make interpersonal relationships. That can be a big struggle for someone that's feeling depressed. So Dr. Ruth talks about how intimacy in a relationship can be really important. So the intimacy and that closeness that happens with sex or the lack thereof, that could definitely make or break a couple's sex life. So in a situation where you're not feeling up for sex or you're having some kind of sexual difficulties, such as not being able to get hard, Dr. Ruth says it's really important to do your best to be intimate with your partner in other ways.
First of all, make sure that you have the time for her arousal, because it takes longer for many women to get sexually aroused. And then make sure that you have the time for afterplay. Because if you caress the woman that you're with after sex, that's already the foreplay for the next time of sex.
Very true.
Oh, is that how that works?
All right.
Just kiss them, cuddle them. Just do your best to keep that intimacy going, because that's really what keeps couples together. So I read a study on erectile dysfunction that was pretty interesting, and what it read was erectile dysfunction affects an estimated 30 million men, mostly over the age of 50 in the United States. And this condition can result from a number of causes, including medical conditions, medications, or psychological or emotional factors. In order to not let this impact a relationship, it's very important to help your partner achieve satisfaction in other ways. If you can't get hard, maybe try seeing what they like and then go from there. Make sure that you are still providing that pleasure to your partner in other ways while you're struggling. And if it's a new relationship and you aren't really comfortable with each other yet, maybe you're having trouble achieving orgasm or, just making the mood right, it's really important to communicate and tell that person what you like. Be patient too. Definitely be patient with yourself. And with that sexual communication, things will come a lot smoother. If you don't know how to please your woman, give her the opportunity to show you how she wants to be touched. Be patient and don't let your ego take over. Like if you feel like you know everything, you don't. Every woman is different and every woman requires a different kind of way to get off. So be patient and just communicate. So about 10 to 20% of erectile dysfunction is due to psychological factors. This could be depression or anxiety. It could also be prevalent for somebody that's experienced trauma. The problem with anxiety and erectile dysfunction is once a man has erectile dysfunction, it just gets worse from there because they might keep having the fear that they're not going to be able to perform and get hard, which just makes the problem so much worse. This also leads to performance anxiety, which also makes the matter so much worse as well. Another problem is that a man might actually feel guilt as a result of erectile dysfunction. because they don't feel like their partner is getting what they want, and then they're just like overwhelmed with guilt, which takes me back to what I said before. Making sure that you're taking care of your partner's needs in other ways so you don't feel so guilty. And even when a man is super comfortable in sexual situations, depression can still get in the way. And not only that, a lot of people that are on medication for depression, that might also have an impact on their sex drive or their ability to get hard. Another psychological factor that might contribute to erectile dysfunction is having a low self-esteem. If you're worried about how you're going to perform, that'll definitely have an impact on your performance. So just try to clear your head and enjoy the moment. And just to normalize this for you, pretty much all men experience this at least 1 or 2 times in their life, here and there. Don't feel so bad about it, but if it becomes a frequent problem, definitely seek advice from whether that's a medical doctor or a therapist, because it might be psychological. I want to talk about Viagra for a moment because I did do a presentation in school on this, which is really interesting. So I found this article by Barry, and he discussed how men often seek a magic bullet for their sexual issues. Something I talked about in this presentation was this idea that sexual performance is very overvalued. I definitely feel like a lot of men feel like their manliness depends on how they perform in bed, which is why there's so much anxiety around it.
I got an idea about something new. How about you guys actually locate your dicks, remove the shrink wrap, and fucking use them?
Dude, it's gonna happen. She's a college chick.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys tonight. I'll look for you in the no fucking section.
But what's actually the most important between a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or just anybody in a relationship, is more so the intimacy and the communication and the relational aspects of the interpersonal relationship. It's not always about the sex. I mean, that helps too, but the importance of the sex performance, that is definitely overemphasized. So keeping in mind that erectile dysfunction can be caused by psychological distress, such as anxiety or just wanting to perform so well, I think the best advice is just clear your mind and enjoy the moment. And also know that when you're first starting to date someone and you're first getting intimate with somebody, you don't have to be perfect. You're still taking time to learn each other's bodies. Try to just enjoy the moment, enjoy that personality. Do your best to show intimacy in other ways and get to know them as a person. It's really important to know the person. I know Dr. Ruth emphasizes this as well. To have a really good sexual relationship, you really need to know each other. So focus more on kind of getting to know the person rather than just being someone that's a master in bed. So I wish you all the best, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be posting more content like this every Wednesday and fitness related on Saturday. And fitness is related to sex in so many ways. Better fitness, better sex, vice versa. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.